Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. It's been quite a while, but we're back and looking at some more Battlefield 5 issues as always. I feel like this game is on absolute life support and DICE is just fucking around with this whole new update. I don't know what they're doing. Is it arrogance that they can't just admit that they made a bad update and revert it? They've already done it once and they won't do it this time. And before I know it, a lot of you guys are going to get on me for saying this update was really good. I just enjoyed aiming for the head, to be honest, and I thought it was fun being able to kind of turn on people and really play with like an aim playstyle. However, what the update actually did was it just removed like all variety in weapons. You can't really use anything but just a few little weapons like Grease Gun, Type 2A, STG. You guys know the weapons, you've been playing it for a while. Jungle Carbine, of course. I mean, this update is so average. But we're going to get into this new blog post DICE made. It's a community broadcasting, that's what they're called. It's basically just like a massive wall of text. Who's going to read this wall of text? I don't know. I'm only reading it for a YouTube video. But if I was a casual player, which is a lot of player base, I wouldn't be going on Reddit and reading this text. And I wouldn't have this reassurance that maybe the game will improve a little bit. But even then, we're going to get into that. So the first thing that they're doing is they're saying that they're basically basing this update off like mathematics, so on statistics more or less. They're looking at like how weapons are actually performing at range, and they're analyzing it from a very quantitative point of view. You don't have to do this. It's absolutely stupid. Your whole community hates the update. Literally no one likes it. If I look on my Origins friends list right now, hopefully I can pan to this. This used to be full of people playing Battlefield 5. I used to have like a group of 5-6 people that were on every night and I could just play some games with them. There's literally none of them that play anymore. No one wants to play the game because it's just absolute dog shit and no one enjoys it anymore. It's absolutely ridiculous what they've done to it over time. Instead of looking at how weapons perform at range, you want to be looking at charts like what weapons are getting used the most. Like, you want everything being used a little bit. In this current update, no one's using anything but those main staple guns. Like, it's not hard to understand. I think it must be arrogance or something, because what they're actually planning on doing here, and you'll see in the update notes, but they're intending on kind of not reversing back, but basing the new damage model off the old one. So they're going to do another kind of update, but hopefully they don't go as far this time. I just don't know. Why wouldn't they just revert the update, just do a full revert, and then go from there? So at least you get those players back. Just, there's so many people on Reddit, you know, all that kind of stuff, and they're all saying that, you know, I won't play until they revert the update. Okay, revert it, and then that way you get all those players back, and then you can start moving from there. I don't know why they wouldn't do something like that. Maybe it's because it takes so much time to get updates out on the consoles. But speaking of consoles, this console aim assist is absolutely ridiculous as well. I'm so glad I don't play on console and I haven't had people really abuse it against me, but man, like, you see the clips on Reddit. Imagine putting so many hours into a game, you know, trying to master it and getting to that point where you can almost aim like an aim assist on console. I'm sure there's players who have done that. And then all of a sudden, that's all out the window because everyone has aim assist. It's so stupid. I mean, it seems like they take ideas from bad games and just implement them into Battlefield 5. Like, I see the artillery strike, the sector artillery. I don't like it because it seems like the red zone from PUBG, if you know what I'm talking about. You just call it in and you get random kills with it. I think it's just kind of annoying and it's not that fun to play against or even use yourself. Now, I feel like the aim assist is taken from Fortnite. Like, Fortnite had ridiculous console controller aim assist on PC and people would abuse it. Like, plug in a controller and just get god aim. And I feel like people could be doing that on Battlefield 5 right now. Like, just actually get some decent players, or like get a CTE or something. A CTE. I couldn't say that properly that time. Yeah, so community test environment, that's what CTE is. And basically, in Battlefield 4, they had like a set of servers where they'd roll out patches and they'd actually get feedback on them first. And this is pretty much how Battlefield 4 went from pretty much a BF5 tier game to like one of the best games of all time, I reckon. So, I don't know. They got to have some people who actually know what they're doing, like testing out these updates, because this controller aim assist as well, that's absolutely silly. It's so pointless. Not to mention the numerous bugs that are actually introduced with update 5.0. For one, the rocket pods on all the planes. You know, I'm a pilot player, of course. I love my planes. But the rocket pods, they don't actually work against aircraft at all. You'll hit them directly and they just do absolutely no damage. It's so stupid, guys. It really disappoints me to see what they've done with this game, and I do hope that they can get it back on track. But to do that, they really just have to drop their egos, leave them behind, and just be like, this update was bad, this update was absolutely shocking, let's just revert it and then move from there. But even then, they've wasted so much time doing that. Is it like even worth worrying about this game? So many things I ask myself. It's a bit of a rant at this stage, guys, I'm sorry, but this game just absolutely pisses me off. Just for some context on this, you'll never hear this in my recordings because I split my audio so I can cut it out. But while I'm playing this game, like in this gameplay right here, I'm probably just like swearing, like getting really pissed at the game with all the things that happens. I mean, not in this match because I'm just shredding people, but like in most matches, I'll never leave Battlefield 5 happy. I'll never actually stop playing BF5 and be like, I enjoyed that. I'll always stop it because I stopped having fun and I just end up stopping playing the game. And it's not like I'm playing it for 5-6 hours and then I'm like, oh, I'm not having fun anymore. I'm playing it for like 20 minutes and I'm like, I've had enough of this. It just doesn't make sense to me. The game was better when it first came out. The game was better at pretty much any stage, and this is the update that they won't revert. Guys, I do hope that they can turn this game back, and I didn't want to make a video like this, but there's so many issues with the game. So I've ranted enough, guys, and I'm sorry about all that, but let's just give some constructive criticism before I leave. So firstly, team balancing. It's so important. It's absolutely what's making people quit the game. If you want to reduce churn, maybe introduce some sort of team balancing. It's absolutely stupid. I've played matches where I rolled the enemy team, go 100-0, and then my team the next round is 40 players, and the other team, or I don't know if it's 40 players, it's at least 32 players, and the other team will have like 15. And the game doesn't balance from that point, and the server's just gonna die. No matter what, the server is guaranteed to slowly like populate back down. And you know what's happening while that's all going on? You're having a match that's not even that fun at all. So those players are actually gonna close the game down after that session because they'll be like, okay, this is my last match. Instead of that, let's just get a team balancing system in, and then it instantly just swaps people around once they die, and then maybe those players will have another match after that, and boom, maybe less churn. I just don't see why they wouldn't start with something like team balancing. It's so important. And on that note, would skill-based matchmaking be something you guys would be interested in? Personally, I think it might be a good idea. Battlefield 5 has always had this kind of, well, not Battlefield 5 even, Battlefield in general has always had this kind of farming dynamic where the good players, they'll say they're farming, and it's kind of true. Like, you don't have to put in any effort to kill a lot of players once you get good at the game, and it just gets to the point where you're just farming lesser skilled players. And that's because the game has no skill-based matchmaking, and some servers would do like a noobs only, like KD limiter, but I feel like that doesn't really work. I think if you had skill-based matchmaking, the games would be a lot closer guaranteed, but then again, I know some people wouldn't like that. It would make the games kind of more sweaty, it would be kind of annoying. The next one might be for the next Battlefield game, come to think of it, but it is just generally a balancing philosophy that I'd like to see in more games, where you make things fun to use, but also kind of fun or like not annoying at all to die to. I know Overwatch did focus on this. I don't know if it succeeded there with some of the metas that we've seen in that game. But a lot of the stuff in Overwatch, especially early in the game, it wasn't frustrating to die to, and it wasn't frustrating to use. It was just overall quite fun. Obviously some stupid examples like Roadhog Hook. That kind of stuff was silly back in that game, but at least you had most of the weapons being fun to use and fun to die to, and you really can't say that about Battlefield 5. And finally, map rotations. We need custom servers. We need solid custom servers, or at least decent map rotations. I've tried to stream this game. I really wanted to. And you know what I did when I was streaming this game? I played on Wake Island only. Just Wake Island servers, or even Pacific. And the reason why is not because I love Wake Island, it's just because on average, that map is better than the whole rotation on average. I don't know how to explain this. Basically, the rest of the rotations, like, they're all just good map, bad map, good map, bad map. Whereas Wake Island is consistently just above average. So it just becomes like, I may as well just play this instead of switching servers all the time. But it shouldn't have to be like that. We need some servers with just classic maps, just the good maps, rather than some random stuff like Hamada, Rain and Shine, or whatever that is. Like, you have a rotation right now. I was laughing when I first booted the game. You have a rotation where half of the maps you can't see anything. Like, that basically just kills the server for half of it, and then people come on when it's Shine maps. Like, what is that? I don't know, man. So anyways, that's all I really want to be happy with this game. That will do it for DICE. If they can just add those 3 things, I'd be quite happy. Hopefully it all gets back on track, and again, I'm really just not optimistic, maybe for the next one, but definitely not for this game. Anyways, that's it, guys. Take it easy. Peace.